Like when you when you say yes to something, you are committing your energy, you're committing your time, you're committing your availability. And what happens is if you give out these yeses, and it's easy to give out a yes, there's instant gratification, people love you, oh, you're a people pleaser, oh, there's no conflict or whatever. But what happens when you've given out so many yeses? And remember, you're a limited resource. You have a limited amount of energy, limited amount of time. You're limited. So if you're giving out all your yeses all day, every day, with something that you prayed for, with something that you worked hard for, when an opportunity shows up, you're out of yeses because you spent. Yes is currency. You spend all your currency on things that matter. So I think no is important. The only way that you're going to have enough yeses to win in life is if you give a healthy amount of no's. And here's another thing. The reason why I love no is because no will qualify a relationship. Because there's some relationships that only work because you always say yes. No is...
Woo, Lord. No is important because yes is expensive. Yes is currency. And Touré Roberts told no lies when he said that. What do you think, London?
I agree. Yes is expensive, and you have to be very mindful of who you allow in your space and also discern who you can allow in and out of your life so that you don't disrupt your peace.
Absolutely. And we started with that little clip today by Touré Roberts because it really goes hand in hand with our topic for today. But first things first, hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to another episode of EmpowerHer Podcast. So glad that you joined us. We have a really juicy topic today. Definitely something that's come up multiple times in conversation for me. I've had this debate, I guess, numerous times, and I definitely want to take time to talk about it today. And we'd also love to hear your take on it. If you're listening and you'd like to share or you have an opinion about it, just let us know. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, leave a comment under our YouTube video. Reach out and let us know what you think about this. But so I was on Instagram scrolling through and I saw someone post a question. The question was, is it selfish to not want to constantly be around consistently depressed or stressed people? And I saw that question and I said, is that selfish? So before I give my take on it, London, I want to hear what you think about it. Is it selfish to not want to constantly be around consistently depressed or stressed people?
Honestly, I feel like it really depends, right? So you have the selfish part where it's just like, I really don't feel like hearing this person because you just want to talk about your problems all the time. And then you have the selfless person who's always listening to everybody else's problem, but then they lack the boundaries, right? And then they are overspilling opposed to refilling their own cup. And then you have the selfful person who is not full on themselves, but they respect their boundaries. And so it's like, I want to hear you. I want to be there for you. But are you here for me in the way that I need you to be here for me in this moment? Can I voice my opinion? Can I share? Can I have a moment? I have like those friends that you, every time I'm going through something, you going through something. Can I go through something by myself?
Hello?
A little bit. Can I talk about it? And then we can get back to yours. Like, I'm gonna be here for you, but can we be here for me just a little bit? So no, it's not selfish to want to protect your peace. It's important.
You literally are like taking some of the words out of my mouth. Like the first thing I said when I saw this post was, heck no, it ain't selfish. Like, and that might sound selfish, but in no way, shape, or form is that selfish. I really think, and I think the headline for this show today is protecting your peace. Everyone has the right to protect their peace. And a big thing that I caught that you were saying is just, is it reciprocated? Is it reciprocated? So I think that there has to be a healthy balance. So I wouldn't say, whenever someone comes to you and they have an issue, you should be like, girl, I don't want to hear it. I got my own drama going on. That can come off as selfish. Like, oh, you a selfish person. You only care about what's going on in your life. You're only here to help yourself, or you only want someone to help you with what you have going on. So I won't say that 10 times out of 10, you should be telling people, no, I don't want to hear that. I got my own stuff. I won't say that. But I will say that if you happen to come into contact with a person, or you have a relationship with this person, whether it's a friend, associate, co-worker, whatever, and you notice this pattern, and I myself am speaking from experience, if you notice this pattern, that every time you speak with this person, they're going through something. And I ain't saying life is easy. Everybody goes through something. But key word, everybody goes through something. Everybody deserves to have their moment to go through something. So if you notice this pattern with this person, and every time you talk to them, they're going through something, they want to tell you about their drama, they want to lay their burdens on you, they're looking for advice, help me, help me, help me. Oh my goodness, I'm depressed. Oh my goodness, I'm sad. What do I do? What do I do? And you being me, or being the selfless person that I am, I'm giving advice, or whether I'm just an ear to listen. But then when it's my turn, I don't get a turn.
Now,
that's the problem for me.
Real quick, let me just play devil's advocate a little bit. And it's not, I don't even think I would call this devil's advocate, because it's like, okay, I'm listening to you complain about your problems, but what are you doing to fix them?
Facts. And that's another thing
for me too. It's like, I don't mind listening to your problems, but I don't want to keep hearing the same problems all of the time. Like, I like action-oriented individuals. And if you aren't an action-oriented individual, then okay, how can I help you get there? Because that's how I get my friendships. It's like, all right, if I see that you're stagnant in the area that I know that I can help you in, I'm going to find ways to help you. And even if it's the area that I know I don't know anything about, we're going to do some Googling. We're going to figure it out. We're going to work on something, right? Because you have to have a plan. So we're just sitting there complaining all of the time. It's like, what are you really, I don't want to say what are you going for, but what's the point, right?
Right.
And not to say that in a way where it's being an a-hole, but it's like, what are you getting out of complaining constantly?
Right. It's almost like
bring it out.
And it's almost, some people, it seems like they're addicted to the drama. Like this is what they want, even though they say they don't want it, or that they're so depressed, or they're going through this. If I as a person have given you advice, or I've told you, try this, try that, and you're not trying it, or you're in the same, the same cycle every day, it's the same thing, and you're telling me, oh, I wish this would change, but you're not doing the work to change it, then I can't help you, sweetheart. And I don't want to continue to sit here and listen to whatever it is going on with you if you're not taking action to change it. Because then that tells me that you
to your piece too. And it's like, it's not even the fact that you don't want to help the person. It's like, I think oftentimes people, I think they don't understand that when it's like, while you're sitting here complaining, you going through these things. If I'm really close to you, if you're like a genuine friend, or like if we have this, you're in my family and we have this genuine connection, whatever it is, we have this bond, and you're complaining to me about something that's bothering you, it bothers me too. Okay. So that's another level of me protecting my peace. It's not because, like, yes, I do want to give you the steps. I want to provide you with some steps that you can take. And I have to also understand that my steps are not your steps, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to be at a different space in my life. And you may be further ahead, or you may be a little bit behind, whatever it is. And I wouldn't even say behind, because you are where you need to be. And whatever it is that you need to be in that moment may not be in alignment with what it is that I'm doing within my life right now. So in that moment, I can't hold myself back or allow myself to be burdened or brought down, and not in a negative way, but brought down emotionally, because it does something to you. It makes you happy. It makes you demotivated. It doesn't give you the freedom that you want to get up and go, because you're just so constantly worried about what's going on in somebody else's life.
Absolutely. And again, you're taking words out of my mouth. Like when someone is really near and dear to you and you really love that person, their problems truly do become your problems. Or at least it feels as, you're not the one walking in their shoes, you're not the one going through it. But when you love someone and you see them hurting, that hurts you as well. So it hurts to watch people you love be hurt, or to be depressed or to stressed or going through whatever they're going through. So, you want to show sympathy, you want to be empathetic, you want to care, you want to be there for this person. And 9 times out of 10, I will be there. I'm that person that will be there. I will be that ear to listen. I will give you advice. I will be there for you, even if you're telling me the same thing over and over again. And I'm just like, dang, like this is just really not changing for you. Like we have to figure something out. But I don't feel that it's selfish if one day or 2 days or 3 days, I'm like, look, girl, just not today. Today I can't do it. Today I have my own stuff going on, or today I'm in a space, I'm here, I'm in this nice space. And I know that if I dive into what you're going through, it's going to drag me down. And like you said, not in a negative way, but just your energy, energy is really big, and you have to protect your own energy and protect your own peace. Everyone has that right.
I have a friend, and one thing he used to always ask me, and he still asks me now to this day, if he's going through something, he asks me, do you have the mental space to handle me unloading on you today? I think that was the first time that I was ever asked that question. And I was like, wow. So when he first asked me that question a couple of years ago, I was in a completely different mind space. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, you sound dumb. But then like I went home and I thought about it like, oh, I get it. Do I have the mental space? Because I could have been going through anything that day. Right. And so you're calling me and you're just like, girl, I got to tell you, blah, 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 blah. And you just go right on into your story. But what you don't know is I might have just gotten fired from my job, or I might have had a really bad day at work, or I might have gotten into an argument with my boyfriend or my husband, or, something could have happened between me and my kid, and I just wasn't in a space to talk about it right then and there. Whatever it is between me and God, right? But
yeah,
you're just unpacking on me, not even taking into consideration if I got the mental capacity to take on what you want to unload, or how it's going to affect me.
right.
So that's the other importance of protecting your peace. So I find like now, like if I'm talking to someone and I just feel like whatever it is, like this is good for me and my dad. My dad, I call him a pessimist all the time. He's like, I'm not a pessimist, I'm a realist. And I'm like, well, are you though? Like, are you a realist, or are you just speaking from your own experience? Because what is a realist anyway?
Hello.
Right? You're just only talking from your own reality. So it's like, are you, or are you just being pessimistic and projecting your own negativity? In this moment, I really don't got the space for it. So we can change the subject, because I would love to talk to you. I didn't speak to you today. Or unfortunately, I'm going to have to talk to you later.
Right.
And I've gotten very comfortable with saying that, like, yeah, I don't really got the mental space for this right now.
Ladies, we have an amazing community for women just like you. EmpowerHer Network, a community created to empower women. Join us at community.indiscoveringme.com.
I'm going to have to talk to you later.
And I love that. I love the fact that your friend asked you that. And I don't think that I've been asked that before. And it, like you said, it would throw me off too. Like, wow, like because you're going through something. You called me because you want to spill this on me, but for you to have that care for my mental space to first ask, are you in a position where I can unload this on you?
Yeah.
That's so selfless. Like, I love that. And I the person that comes to my mind when we're talking about this, that's never been done. And like you said, it's literally ring, 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 hello, girl. And it's like, oh God, here we go again. Like, are you gonna say hello to me first? Are you gonna ask me how my day was if I just went through something? Like, and that's why I said, is it reciprocated? Is there a balance?
Advocate. Here's where I play devil's advocate, because it's with that. Do you really have a right to be mad at that person? Because are they showing you anything different? Right? They are who they are, right? It's not like today they're this person and tomorrow they're this person. If you're constantly having the same issue with someone, then is it their issue or is it yours? Because now are you projecting? Because you're aggravated because you haven't put them in the space that they need to be in. Right?
Yeah.
So are you respecting your boundaries and being fair to self?
Absolutely not. And for a long time, I was not. And this is speaking in past tense, sweetheart. This is past tense. We done rectified the situation, okay? London has now protected her boundaries and her peace, all right? Especially with this little baby on the way. I ain't got time, okay? I ain't got time. But I will admit that in the past and for a very long time, I was not putting those boundaries in place. I was letting this go on for so long and wondering, why am I so aggravated every time I see this girl name pop up on my phone? And I had to really do some soul searching and say, it's not her. She is who she is. And you know who she is because you've allowed her to be like this with you for so long. So no, I won't get mad at her. What I will do is say, hey, boo, not today, and clean that phone up real quick. Okay. And it's not in a malicious way. It's not in a selfish way. It's not in a girl, I ain't got time for you. It's just boundaries, girl. And you've already shown me, what kind of relationship this is because, like I said, it's never been reciprocated. You've never asked me. So yeah, girl, like I know I dump on you every single day, but what's up with you? Right. That's never come out of your mouth. So now I know where we stand. And that's why I say that's no longer a friendship. It's an association. Every now and then I might pick up the phone and check up on you, or if I see you calling, I might pick up, but I know what to expect. So yeah, like you said, it's not her. I can't be mad at her. I can't fault her for who she is. She is who she is. And I allowed her to be that way with me for so long, but not more.
Yeah, right. I literally had a situation today, with someone who's like been in my life for the last however many years. And I consider them a cool, whatever, close. And it just got to the point where and I feel like this in any given relationship, whether it's between me and my mother, now me and my father, me and my friends, me and my family, cousins, brothers, whatever. It either is or it isn't. Like we're just at a stage in our lives where it just is or it isn't. And one day I sat down and I was just like, well, nobody in my life really kind of went above and beyond when it comes to protecting my peace or anything like that. But then I thought about it. Well, what were my requirements? Like, what did I require before allowing someone to enter into my space? And I think that's another thing too, because we talk about protecting our peace, but what do you require?
Right.
Before allowing someone into your space? And then when you require that, do you actually respect your boundaries and those requirements?
Right.
Because the person that I was talking about now, I'm thinking back onto the relationship and I'm just like, again, this person is who they are who they are. They haven't changed. They've never shown me anything different. They just are who they are. So at this point, I'm no longer mad at you, right? Because again, that comes with self-acceptance. I allowed it. This is who you are. Cool. This is where you feel you want to meet me in your life. So now the next question is, do I want you as an associate?
Right.
Because then am I really allowing myself to protect my peace, or am I allowing you to still leech off of me in a little bit in some way, shape, form, or fashion? Because sometimes we feel like we still have to be involved in this person's life because they've been in our lives for however many years, because we have a history, because of this, because. But do you feel good after hanging up the phone with that person? And if you don't, are you still protecting your peace? Because it's like, what's the point?
Girl, you preaching to the choir, and it's almost like you're literally inside of this relationship that I'm speaking of right now. Because, like I said, I've grown from it. It was at a point where I was allowing it to happen, and I would talk to my husband like, oh, like, because he know who she is. But, it would actually, we would have conversations about her, and he would tell me, I mean, you complaining, but you still gonna pick up that phone when she called.
Right.
So what are you really complaining about? You're allowing this to happen. You've allowed it. And when he said that to me, I said, you know what? You are absolutely right. And that's when I decided to do something about it. But now what you're saying, that's a level I haven't got on yet. To really analyze the situation. It's like, okay, so you cut it down a little bit. You protecting your peace now, but what are you holding on to? What are we holding on to? And like you said, it can be history, or we've been friends for this long. We got all this, all these, memories, or, I just feeling like you owe that person something. You owe that person to not completely cut them out of your life. Do you though? Do I though?
Like, do you owe anybody anything?
Not a thing. Not a thing. And I'm coming to realize that. And I think I'm just the type of person that's, when it comes to cutting people off, depending on the situation, because, I will use them scissors very quickly, but depending on the situation and depending on the person, it is very hard for me to cut ties with people.
It's same here. I'm not even gonna pretend like it is. Like, to be honest with you, like, some my kids will probably say I'm cold, which they lying, because I'm not. But,
no, they ain't.
Yeah, I'm not. But I just don't, like, I don't have time. But I know for a fact that there have been several situations, a ton of situations in my lifetime, that I have overstayed my welcome and overstayed my boundaries and just overextended myself and stayed way too long, and then was like, oh, well, you know what? We don't have to have this type of relationship, but now I could try to fit you in. No, I don't want to fit you nowhere you don't want to be. Because here's the thing. I am who I am, right? And you are who you are. In me accepting who you are, I can identify with what it is that I want, and you ain't it. That's not the type of friendship that I want in my life. That's not the type of relationship that I want in my life. So do I really need to continue on this path with you? No, I don't. And so it's okay to tell people, like, listen, I love you. And it's not that I'm cutting you off, because it's never cutting somebody off. It's just, look, I'm on this path, you on this path, we're not in alignment, life goes on.
Right.
So I love you, but the space that I'm in presently right now, it's just, we not fitting.
Yeah.
So, this is just kind of the end of the road for us. And I've been in a situation where I genuinely had to tell somebody that. But you know what? We came back around and we ended up on the same path again. And then that's how you know when you're in alignment with somebody, because you meet with them and you speak with them and you talk. But then here's another catch to it. What preventative measures are you setting in place to make sure that you don't fall back into old patterns?
That part. Oh, girl, you know what? I almost wish you could write me a script. So, like, everything you just said, write it down. I'm going to call her up. I'm going to read it verbatim, okay? But no, like, you're absolutely right. Like, and that's the simplest way to say it. You're on this path. I'm on this path. We not clicking right now. So it's the end of the road for us. And it may or may not be, because life is funny like that. We might end up, coming back together when you're in a better space, or when I'm in a better space, or just whenever. Like, we'll see what happens. But I really like how you said it, and I'm gonna need you to write me a script so I can talk to homegirl. Because when it comes to that, I just be like, how am I gonna tell her, like, I just don't bang with you right now?
Like, you got to be fair. I've learned, like, you really got to be fair to yourself. Like, everybody, at the end of the day, everybody going to do what's best for them. And if you are, like, a very empathetic person, you're always like it. You have to learn how to create those boundaries, but you're always going to want to be there for someone. You're always going to want to help. And then you may even feel guilty, like, okay, if I cut this person off, then who else are they going to talk to? I don't know. That's for them to figure out, because who is it that I'm going to talk to? Like, you gotta be fair to yourself and start asking yourself the same questions that you would ask about the other person that you're not in alignment with.
Yeah.
Like, I had some situations where like, if I don't, how many times have we all been in a relationship where we like, well, if I leave him, he ain't gonna have nothing. Well, that's not your problem.
That ain't your problem, boo.
Well, if I stop talking to her, she ain't gonna have nobody to talk to. Oops.
I love it. Oops.
And then for those of us that got generational trauma, well, if I don't keep talking to my mom, she's going to go down the wrong path. Or if you're struggling with somebody with addiction, if I don't stay in their life, they're going to veer off the path. It's just so many buts and what ifs that you can keep yourself attached and tied to a situation. And it's like, are you being fair to yourself?
It gets deep. You getting deep, girl.
So when it comes to protecting your peace, it's important because it's expensive.
It's expensive. And I was just about to say, that's why we started with that clip, y'all, because Touré Roberts, like I said, when we started, he told no lies. No is important because yes is expensive, and it is. And I feel like I almost went broke, you know, with homegirl. Like I literally went broke. I was down to my last pennies. And that's when you start, that's when that strain on the relationship comes in. It's like, okay, now I'm starting to not like you. Like I just don't like you because I know what to expect every time I talk to you. So and then protecting your peace is saying no.
It's not even that you don't like her.
Right.
Like what you allowing.
Exactly. It's me. I don't like what I've allowed you to do. I don't like what I've allowed.
How do I allow this? And that was something else. It's like when you really break it down, one day I sat there. I don't even know if I shared this with you. And I was thinking about a situation and I was just like, I think I had, because I've been real emotional these last couple of weeks. So I had one of my moments. And so I'm sitting by the pier and I'm just like, why does person keep doing that to me? And why I keep going through this and why this? And I said, you know what? Where is this coming from? Why am I so attached to this person? What is the connection here? And I'm like, wait a minute. And pardon me for whoever's going to hear this, but you're not in a situation. This is not your mother. Okay. I don't got to chase for that love anymore. I don't got to figure out how I'm going to be loved anymore. I'm not that child anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to keep overextending myself in those areas in my life anymore. So when you start understanding the connection of why you're unable to protect your peace or why you're unable to enforce your boundaries, that was like a whole kumbaya moment. I was like, wait, what? I ain't gotta do that. I ain't gotta feel like for real. Oh, okay. Okay, because if I cut this person off and then if I stop talking to this person because I feel this way, because like, what am I going for? Why am I chasing them? Yeah. What am I chasing? Why am I allowing this? What's holding me here? What's anchoring me in this position?
Yeah.
And then you figure that out, you be like, oh, that was it. Okay, I'm good.
Girl. And it gets really deep because when you talk about trauma and you just talk about things that you've been through in the past, it just makes me think of situations, you know, with my own family and times that I've let my own family do me wrong, you know, time and time again, yet I'm still here. So if you can do that with your own family, why wouldn't you do it with a friend? Why not? You know? So it's really something internal that I have to fix. For, you know, feeling that empathy, feeling obligated. My husband tells me that all the time. Why you feel so obligated to people? I don't know, babe. And then I really think about, you know, my past and just things that I've been through and I have to think about where it comes from. And, you know, that's something that I have to work on. And I'll openly admit that I need to work on feeling obligated because yes, it's expensive. Okay, it's so expensive. And I'm tired of being broke.
And when you get that yes out, you can't get it back. And it's like breaking a $20 bill. Once you break that $20 bill, that junk be gone.
gone. Like,
where
where
my
did
money
it
at?
go?
It's like everything be
It's
$20.
gone.
Like, remember, it used to be $1.50. You could buy a whole lot with $1.50. No, I give up $20 and I get back 59 cents. Like, can I have my change? You ain't got charging me for bags. So the 59 cents you just gave me, you need it too? Like, yes, it's expensive. It's expensive as hell. You have to be very protective of who it is that you say it to. You have to be very protective of your peace. You have to be very, like, cognizant of your freaking boundaries. And making sure that even with your boundaries, it's not reacted from like a negative space or something that's triggering you. And then if it is triggering you, figure out why it's triggering you so you can set up those preventive measures so it don't happen again.
Right. Because just like that person is calling me to dump their drama on me, then I'm going back to my husband, dumping drama on him. And I'm telling her, well, you ain't do the work, you ain't do the work to fix it. And then look at myself, I ain't do the work to fix this issue with you. So who's at fault here?
How's that affecting your relationship? Because now you taking in somebody else's freaking drama, right? You're letting them come in with their package and they're unpacking some of that crap on you. And you taking your own baggage and you going to your husband with your own baggage and hitting y'all baggage in somebody else's baggage. And so then you go home with somebody else's baggage and your husband done triggered you in the way that somebody else triggers you. And that starts a whole other problem.
And that's
why they say it's expensive.
It's expensive. And that had to stop. And I'm happy to say that it did. It did stop. But like you said, holding on to what? For what? What are you holding on to? That's the part that I really need to address, and feeling obligated and feeling like I owe somebody to be there just because I understand them or I sympathize with them. Like you said, boo-hoo.
Because it's like, oh, well, what's next?
Yeah.
What's next? Are we ever gonna hang out again? I mean, you may not. I mean, you may not. Who knows? But like, genuinely, how are you feeling in this moment?
Right.
And it's like, and that's important because we don't take a moment to be like, well, we might hang out later on. All right, well, do you want to hang out with her right now? Okay, so revisit it then.
Yeah. Well, ladies, I just want to say, if you listening to this and somebody is popping up in your head, like when I saw that post, just really listen to what we're saying, and just think about it. And like London is saying, just evaluate the situation and really think about, are you putting those boundaries in place? Have you put them in place? Are you protecting your peace? It is not selfish to protect your peace because, like Touré Roberts said, no is important because yes is expensive. Okay. So this was a really good chat, London. I'm really happy that we talked about this. I got some things off my chest, and you got me thinking about some stuff that now I need to go back and be like, okay, I got some work to do.
That's the part right there. Just realizing, I realized literally in the last 2 years, and it sounds like it's nothing, but the last 2 years seem like the longest years of my life, and I realized that. Really, honestly, no matter what it is that I'm going through, no matter what it is that I'm feeling, at the end of the day, it really just starts with self. Like, I start looking at things and I try not to overanalyze stuff too much, but I really like to ask myself, like, why do I feel like this? Where is it coming from? Why am I here? And then what's next? Because I could figure all of those things out and I could decide, yeah, this person doesn't need to be in my life, but if anybody's been listening to any of the previous episodes, I said in like the first one or the second one, where you meet the same soul in different bodies. Because we're working on protecting our peace, but we're not setting in those preventive measures to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Right. You're absolutely right. So we got some work to do. We got some things to think about. And if you are a person like me who finds yourself feeling obligated, we the ones that got the work to do, y'all. It's not the other person. They got their own work to do. but we got some work to do for ourselves to protect our peace. So yeah, I think we've done enough talking for today. I think it's time for us to go ahead and wrap up. London, do you want to go ahead and sign us off and let us know where they can connect with us?
Yes. So London has opened up a new Instagram that I will drop the links to down below in the videos. You can also go on Buzzsprout and you'll be able to click all of our links. So we have Instagram in London. What is the name?
Lord Jesus, it is
EmpowerHer.
Look, I'm tired of myself. I'm sitting here. Look, you signing off, and I'm just sitting here thinking about the work that I need to do. So my headspace is good.
We got EmpowerHer Podcast. I will put that link down there below for the Instagram. We have our Facebook group. If you have any questions, any topics that you would like to talk about, please go online and drop them there on our Facebook group. Drop them in her Instagram, whatever, DM her, or you can shoot us an email at eh@indiscoveringme.com.
There we go.
You guys like and subscribe, please.
Please do. And I got myself together, y'all. The Instagram is empower.herpodcast_LNL Inc. So go ahead and find that link under this video. Follow us. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. And again, if you have something to say, you want to join in on the conversation, please let us know, because we would love to have some other women come on and kind of give their perspective, give their personal stories. We would love that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode of Empower Her Podcast.
Until next time.